Hey there. 17 and a half years ago, I lived on a park bench in downtown Victorville. I was addicted to drugs, alcohol, and I'd lost everything that I cared about. I grew up in the military. My daddy was active duty Air Force. My mother tells me whenever my father was away on tour, I would develop a stutter that would suddenly disappear anytime he came home. This was probably the first indication that I did not react well to stress. Fast forward quite a few years, I'd gotten married a couple of times. I was living happily with my husband and my children. At the age of 13, my oldest son had set a plan in motion to kill my husband, myself, and his then 6-month-old baby brother while we were sleeping because he was hearing command voices. My world shattered. Police were in and out of our home all day that day. I was unable to cope with the enormous amount of information that was being given to me. I had no knowledge of mental illness then. I didn't understand the laws around involuntary holds, and I had never heard of NAMI. I tumbled into deep depression and addiction to both drugs and alcohol. My family was worried. They'd say, "Aren't we enough? You can't, how do you do these things? You weren't raised this way. You're better than this." That landed me on that bench. Where a woman would come around, she brought me coffee. She didn't try to get me to go to her church or rehab or 12-step meeting. All were within walking distance. She simply spoke to me and told me she comes to this park because she used to sleep on this bench. Shortly after I'd met that woman, I did decide to go to a treatment facility. At 9 months clean and sober, I couldn't get the idea that I wanted to die out of my head. These were thoughts that were happening every single day, and a friend had shared with me that maybe I should seek therapy because it helped her. My story is not unique. There are many others out there who have gone for most of their lives without seeking treatment for the symptoms they experience. Early in recovery, I discovered that I'd been battling depression as a result of trauma for most of my life and using maladaptive coping strategies to deal with it. Once I was able to identify the source of my own challenges, I was able to tackle them. Now, this does not mean I do not have challenges. I do. But I have things in place today to help me combat those challenges and people to support me. In the last 2 years, if we have learned nothing else, we have learned that anyone can experience symptoms of mental illness, especially when our world changes. 1 in 5 adults, 1 in 6 youth, 20 million adults in the US have serious thoughts of suicide. The words illness, disorder, suicide, these are words that spark fear, uncomfortable feelings. That fear prevents people from seeking and obtaining the help they need and improving their chances, improve their lives and lessen chances of disastrous things happening. Some warning signs: feeling very sad, trying to harm or end your life, or planning to end your life. Sudden overwhelming fear, feeling like things are out of control. Seeing, hearing, or believing things that are not real. Drastic changes in mood, behavior, personality, sleeping habits. Intense worries or fears that get in the way of your daily activities. These are all signs that maybe there's a mental illness challenge going on. How do you help? First and foremost, you want to have a conversation without judgment. Engage in that conversation. It's so easy to attempt to assign blame when there's no blame. Ask the person, how can I help? Be willing to simply sit and listen. Be okay with not having a solution. You're not a mechanic. They're not a Buick. Not everything can possibly be fixed. Share resources. Be willing to call 911 if the person is in danger of harming themselves or others. It's better to have an angry friend than a dead one. Educate yourself on the resources that you have in your area. Use the Google, folks. That's how I got these. NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness, is one of my favorites. You can have free classes there. It's important to know the crisis hotlines in your area. Every one of my children has these hotlines in their phone. Not so much because I'm worried about them, but people come to them and ask them for help. San Bernardino County has crisis walk-in centers. There's actually one down here on the corner of Bear Valley Road in Hesperia, 24/7. You can walk in, you can be assessed for crisis, you can have medication evaluation. It's actually quite cool. They also have crisis stabilization centers in the area. Because I got the help I needed, my family is happy, we're together. My friends and family depend on me, my experience, and my education to help them when things go sideways. And it all started when a stranger showed me that life could be different. I believe nothing happens by accident. My experiences have brought me here to help shine light on recovery from mental disorders and addictions. And maybe, just maybe, make it easier for you to leave here and have a conversation with someone you love. Thank you.